Good evening and welcome to TVM-News. Today is Wednesday, April 26th. I'm Alex Weidner.
And I'm Carly Kaminsky. This week we bring you the latest happening in the Marywood-University community, the latest events and entertainment happening on campus, and the 7-day Scranton weather forecast, and some highlights of Marywood and national sports.
Due to financial cuts, 4 seasonal employees at the Counseling and Student Development Center will be terminated at the end of the semester. The CSDC reportedly overran its part-time seasonal help budget, and the cuts are meant to reflect both the budget and some recommendations from the Strategic Resource Allocation Report. The SRA report placed the CSDC as a department in need of what they call enhanced resourcing. The CSDC is utilized by at least a few hundred students, according to a report from the Woodward.
The new agreement for nursing students was just signed between Lackawanna College and Marywood. Students from Lackawanna can soon transfer their associate's degree credits to Marywood to complete the nursing program through the dual enrollment agreement. Lackawanna College students have to complete the Marywood Nutrition Level 1 course before graduation. This is a chance for graduates to earn their bachelor's degree in 4 to 6 semesters.
Student volunteers came together to beautify campus on April 21st during the annual Day of Caring. TVM's Haley O'Brien has the story.
Digging, planting, and pulling weeds. Not what most college students do on a Friday afternoon. Marywood Student Government and Maxis Gillet held its first ever Day of Caring, where students did various activities around campus to make it more beautiful.
So we were just looking for an activity that involves everyone on campus. So we got involved with Maxis Gillet and SGA, and we wanted to make a difference on campus, so we figured why not make it more beautiful than it already is.
One of the many spots on campus that needs work is right here at the community garden. And as you can see, it's full of weeds.
A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into maintaining gardens. It's really nice to kind of give back and help out, clean up any excess weeds or anything that just kind of gets in people's way.
Haley O'Brien, TVM News.
Student Activities and Leadership Development held the first ever Leadership Awards last Thursday, giving recognition to students and faculty members. Michael Callage, a graduate student, thought it would be a nice event to appreciate those who worked so hard on campus. A total of 26 faculty members were on the selection committee for the 83 students, faculty, members, and club who were nominated for the 12 different awards. To celebrate the night, MTV's America's Got Talent and The Tonight Show's guest star, Ivan P. Cow, performed juggling tricks.
After a number of vandalism incidents earlier this semester, it appears preventative efforts have been successful. Pornography and an unidentified substance were found on several computers in classrooms across campus back in March, and since then the campus safety has been taking steps to prevent further incidents, including the installation of additional security cameras and making sure doors are locked. While there have been no reports of additional vandalism, campus safety has yet to identify the substance or a suspect.
The Marywood Counseling and Student Development Center is holding an annual Release the Light Sexual Assault Awareness Fair tomorrow in the art field from 2 to 5 p.m. The event aims to raise awareness for the prevalence of sexual assault, change the way our society views it, and promote healthy relationships. Additionally, a Change the Conversation photo display in the Learning Commons lobby shows student athletes holding signs with common sayings that excuse and normalize sexual assault and relationship violence. The fair will include food, live music, guest speakers, raffles, and other activities.
A social media contest is just the first step that students can take for the chance to earn the new Sister Mary Scholarship for the spring 2018 semester. Students who are chosen from the preliminary contest ending on Friday, April 28th will be Marywood promoters for this fall semester. The $1,000 and $2,000 scholarships will be awarded to 2 promoters who win in the second round of the competition in the fall. Students have until April 28th to enter the first round for the chance to be a promoter next semester.
The 4th Annual Community Leadership Celebration on Thursday, May 4th, will honor Marywood trustee Dr. D. Frishoni for his years of service and dedication to the university. The Center for Athletics and Wellness will be transformed to fit this year's theme, Window to the World, and jazz group, a saxophone quartet, and students who participated in the production of God's Bell will perform at the dinner. The money raised from this year's Community Leadership Celebration will be contributed to the President's Innovation fund to support Marywood's growth and the community. We'll be right back with Kyle on what events and entertainment are happening at Marywood now, right after this short break.
Welcome back to TVM News. Let's check in with Kyle for the latest entertainment and events happening on campus.
Student activities crew shook up the turf field with the second annual Bubble Ball Soccer Tournament. TVM's Bethany Wade has the story.
Students were bouncing around during a soccer tournament Sunday afternoon. At the turf field on Sunday, student activities crew held the second annual Bubble Ball Tournament, where players got into one of these balls to play a 10-minute round of soccer on teams of 5. Backed by popular demand, SAC hosted the soccer tournament, allowing students to sign up in teams of 5 to compete for a $500 cash prize.
We brought it back because we just heard people loved it so much. We try to, cater to all factions of Marywood, so we like to get the more active population something to do.
9 teams competed in a single elimination style tournament, playing 10-minute games to see who could score the most goals. Andrew Palecchia, a junior pre-PA major, played on a team with other members of the men's soccer team.
It makes it a lot more fun because you have all these people who don't actually play soccer and you're just running into each other, hitting each other with big bubbles and flying everywhere.
For TVM News, I'm Bethany Wade.
The Marywood Music Theater and Dance Department put a spin on traditional musical performances. TVM's Bethany Wade has the story.
That ain't it, kid. That ain't it, kid. Fix the check.
It may seem like opposite day to any other person, but performers in the Black Box Theater were just participating in a Twisted Theater show. The Marywood Music Theater and Dance Department held their annual Twisted Theater showcase, where men and women switched roles for a night. Twisted Theater gives performers an opportunity to perform music originally written for the opposite gender. Traditionally, songs are chosen that mention gender to add a comedic element.
Mainly to extend the family tree.
Performances included Me from Beauty and the Beast, Lotta Living the Dude from Bye Bye Birdie, and Defying Gravity from Wicked. Ricky Boblets, a sophomore electric guitar performance major, auditioned for the show with Defying Gravity.
I really like to belt sing, and that's a great belting song.
Taylor Patullo directed the show after performing in it the past 2 years.
The process was fun. It was, we want to make everybody laugh, but we also want people to have an opportunity to perform songs that they might not get to perform otherwise.
For TVM News, I'm Bethany Wade.
It's day 2 of room selection for next year. The selection for the Woodlands apartments was yesterday at 7 p.m. The room selection is based off of how many credits a student has completed. The selection for Madonna and Regina Halls for students with over 47 credits will be tonight at 8 p.m. Students who have completed under 47 credits will sign up tomorrow starting at 8 p.m. This will all take place in the Latour room, so make sure you have a group together or your future roommate for next year's room selection. Excited for free food, t-shirts, giveaways, a dance party, and more? The annual Spring Fling is this Saturday in the Upper Pit parking lot starting at 8:30 p.m. until 11 p.m. It will have a glow theme with a DJ playing live music, followed by a dance party with a party robot, confetti cannons, and a t-shirt cannon. This event is free for all Marywood students along with a guest. Ever wanted to play archery along with dodgeball? Never heard of it? Well, the Student Activities crew is holding an archery dodgeball tournament with a $500 cash prize for the winning team. This event will take place on this Sunday, April 13th, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the grass field behind the Center for Athletics and Wellness. The second place team will also receive a prize of $250 cash prize. There are 5 people allowed per team, and free snacks and water will be available. If you are stressed out about finals, then the Student Alumni Association and Student Activities crew will be holding a Glow and Flow Yoga Night in support of Marywood's Scholarship Fund. The event is May 3rd at 9 p.m. in the Nazareth Student Center and will cost $5 at the door. There will also be door prizes given out during the night. There are a limited amounts of mats provided, so if you have your own, please bring it. Make sure you stretch before you come to clear your mind with some soothing yoga. That is all I have for the next few weeks, and on behalf of Carly, thanks for tuning in with me on the biggest activities and entertainment happening here at Marywood. See you next time.
Coming up, we'll have the latest national news right after this short break.
Welcome back to TVM News. A daring rescue of a woman stuck on a construction train in Toronto. The woman was first spotted overnight. It's believed that she climbed onto the crane before lowering herself onto the hook. The firefighter eventually placed a harness on the woman and got her to the ground Wednesday morning. The unidentified woman is facing a charge of mischief and is unclear why the woman climbed on the crane in the first place.
Former President Barack Obama returned to the spotlight on Monday, leading a panel discussion at the University of Chicago with the focus on community involvement. The event was part of Obama's goal to help our future leaders. After a lengthy vacation, the event in Chicago was the former president's first public event since he left office back in January.
Please, everybody have a seat. Everybody have a seat. Have a seat. So, what's been going on while I've been gone? It is wonderful to be home. It is wonderful to be at the University of Chicago. It is wonderful to be on the south side of Chicago. And it is wonderful to be with these young people here. And what I want to do is just maybe speak very briefly at the top about why we're here. And then I want to spend most of the time that we're together.
Your Uber is arriving now, but you may want to look at the skies. Uber is planning to bring flying taxis to Dallas and Dubai by 2020. Uber is partnering with aviation companies to develop the flying vehicles. The technology is brand new and largely unproven, but Uber says flight is for the future is in business. The ride-share giant also said that the cars will help in the areas with busy traffic, and the fare will be the same price as UberX.
The Pentagon called for North Korea to cease destabilizing actions Sunday, hours after the state-run newspaper said the communist nation is ready to take out a U.S. aircraft carrier. The threats continue to consistently hostile tone emanating from North Korea in recent weeks, and this comes one day after a U.S. citizen was detained at Pyongyang International Airport. CNN's Jeremy Roth has details on the increasing tensions between the two nations.
We have a potential crisis brewing with North Korea.
Policymakers in the U.S. sounding the alarm following the release of an editorial in a Pyongyang newspaper Sunday. The paper claims North Korea is prepared to sink a U.S. aircraft carrier group conducting drills near the Philippines, and that it has weapons which can reach the continental U.S., claims that cannot be confirmed.
The minute North Korea gets a missile that could reach the United States and put a weapon on that missile, a nuclear weapon, the instant that happens, this country is at grave risk.
Pentagon spokesman Gary Ross released a statement Sunday calling on the isolated communist nation to, quote, refrain from destabilizing actions and rhetoric. President Trump has since been in contact with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe over the rising threat.
We must do almost whatever it takes, just about anything, to prevent Kim Jong-un from acquiring a nuclear capability he can deliver against the mainland of the United States of America.
Adding to the tension is Kim Sang-duk, an American detained Saturday at Pyongyang International Airport. He'd been teaching at a local university, and it's not clear why he was detained. Kim is the third American in North Korean custody. I'm Jeremy Roth, reporting.
And as those tensions between North Korea and the United States rise, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley had some strong words about a U.S. airstrike on North Korea.
White House has said that all options are on the table for dealing with North Korea, but when asked today about a preemptive U.S. military strike, the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, said the United States would only strike if provoked.
If you see him attack a military base, if you see some sort of intercontinental ballistic missile, then obviously we're going to do that.
That if he tests another intercontinental ballistic missile, if he were to test another nuclear device, when you say, obviously we're going to do that, do you mean military retaliation?
I think then the president steps in and decides what's going to happen.
School district officials said 4 Greenville County students were taken to the hospital Wednesday morning after a pickup truck hit a school bus head-on. Their injuries are non-life-threatening. The Greer Police Department said the pickup crossed the center line and crashed into the school bus. Greenville County Schools said there were 20 Greer Middle School and high school students on board. We'll be back with Sam on the 7-day forecast after this break. Welcome back to TVM News. Let's check in with Sam on the Scranton area weather forecast.
This is Sam Dauenhauer with your 7-day Scranton, Pennsylvania weather forecast. Today we have some sporadic clouds with a 25% chance of rain and some fog arriving later tonight. Our current high is 69 degrees and our low 57 degrees. Tomorrow, more fog in the morning, followed by a buildup of clouds throughout the day, culminating in a 60% chance of a thunderstorm that night. That high will be 78 and the low 61 degrees. Friday will get some sun in the morning, but the clouds will return by night. High 79, low 59. Saturday, warm with some rain in the morning, another day of cloud buildup with another 60% chance of thunderstorms that night. The high of 80, low 59. Sunday, low clouds but still relatively warm with some rain that night with a 24% chance of a thunderstorm throughout the day. At a high 78 and the low 63. Monday, May starts with thick clouds and heavy rain with a 35% chance of another thunderstorm. The high will be 72 and the low 48. Lastly, on Tuesday, the clouds will fade away throughout the day, leaving a clear night with a high 65 and low 43. That's all until next fall, so good luck with finals and have a nice summer. Now, back to the desk.
Thanks, Sam. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back to TVM News. How about we go to Nicolo with Marywood and National Sports.
I'm Nicolo Manzo with your biggest Marywood and National Sports highlights. The men's lacrosse team is pulled into third place in the Colonial States Athletic Conference standings. This means that the men are in a better position to secure both a playoff berth and a home game for the first round of the CSAC playoffs. The Pacers earned this position with a 15-7 victory over Centenary University. Matt Casto set a new career-best mark of 8 points in the win, while Zach Vaughn and Rob Maney contributed 5 points each for the Pacers. The men will have a chance to move into second place today against Keystone College. The women's lacrosse team continues to roll to multiple blowout victories. The women's last 3 games have been won by a combined 45 goals. The latest contest was against Rosemont College. The Pacers posted an impressive 16-0 victory. The shutout marked the second of the year for the Pacers. Goalie Lauren Smith picked up her 3rd CSAC Defensive Player of the Week award following her 5 saves in the blowout win. Currently, Smith boasts the 11th best save percentage in the entire country. The women's final regular season game will be played tonight against Susquehanna University. The Pacers have secured the number 2 seed in the CSAC playoffs. On Saturday, both the men's and women's track and field teams were in action at Misericordia University. The men finished 3rd of 8 teams, and the women finished with a 6th place finish out of 7 teams. Highlights for the men included Nick Marolo's record-setting win in the shot put and Jake Kraser's pair of top 3 finishes in the throwing events. Trevor Flynn set a new school record in the 3K steeplechase as well. The women were led by Lindsay Gladden's record-setting high jump. Tyler Shadow continues to break school record after school record this track and field season. At the Cortland Classic Invitational, Shadow broke 5 school records to continue his record-breaking campaign. Shadow's score of 5,888 in the decathlon was good for 2nd place at the event and shattered Marywood's record by 1,448 points. Shadow is the 27th highest qualifier for the decathlon in all of Division III. The other records set by Shadow were the 110-meter hurdles, pole vault, and high jump. Shadow tied his record in the long jump as well. Tim Hackenberg had an impressive afternoon. Hackenberg placed 14th in the decathlon, and his score was good enough for 2nd in the CSAC, while Justin Stonier placed 15th in the CSAC standings. It was a busy week on the diamond for the baseball team. The Pacers posted a 2-3 record, including wins on Thursday against Clark Summit University and on Saturday against Centenary University. The win against Clark Summit saw Justin Perez pick up his first win of the season on the mound and Chase Jones launch a grand slam. Marywood's offensive attack was hitting on all cylinders in the 15-7 victory. In the win against Centenary, Justin Haddix pitched an 8-inning complete game to pick up his 3rd victory of the season. James Getz and Trevor Powers had 2 RBIs each in the 9-5 extra inning win. The softball team cannot be stopped. This team is currently on a 12-game winning streak, which is the 3rd longest in program history. This past weekend, the team swept a pair of doubleheaders against Cedar Crest College and Cairn University. Against Cairn, Caitlin Epler went 4 for 8 with 5 RBIs across the 2 games, and Sam Reed went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a double in the night game alone. TVM's Kyle Clouse has more on the doubleheader against Cedar Crest.
Marywood's softball team extended their winning streak to 10 with a sweep of Cedar Crest College on Friday, April 21st.
The Pacers went up 2-0 in the first inning, but Cedar Crest would take the lead in the third on the strength of a 3-run homer by Dallas Horning. The Pacers would retake the lead in the fourth and hold on to win 7-4. The second game was tied at 0 until the fourth inning when the Pacers broke the ice with a run after a double by Mallory Parada. The Pacers would go on to win Game 2 4-1 to extending their winning streak to 10. The Pacers improved 14-2 in the CSAC and moved into sole possession of second place in the conference. For TVM News, I'm Kyle Clouse.
Marywood's men's tennis team is wrapping up their season against Marywood-University in a match going on right now. The men will try to end their season on a high note after a loss to King's College Sunday. The men sit at 2-9 on the year. Now on to some national sports. The National Basketball Association playoffs are well underway. The first round of the NBA playoffs started last week and are still going on this week. In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics and Chicago Bulls are tied at 2 games apiece, as are the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. The Toronto Raptors lead the Milwaukee Bucks 3-2, while the defending NBA champion Cleveland Cavaliers swept the Indiana Pacers to secure a berth in the second round already. Out in the West, the top-seeded Golden State Warriors have swept the Portland Trail Blazers, while the San Antonio Spurs are locked into a tight series with the Memphis Grizzlies. San Antonio leads 3-2. The Rockets Thunder matchup that pits most valuable player candidates James Harden and Russell Westbrook against one another has seen the Rockets advance with a convincing 4-1 series win. To round out the first round matchups, the Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Clippers are locked into a tight series with the Jazz leading 3-2. Second round Stanley Cup playoff action begins tonight when the Nashville Predators take on the St. Louis Blues and the Edmonton Oilers square up against the Anaheim Ducks in the Western Conference semifinals. The puck drops for the Eastern Conference semifinals tomorrow night when the defending champion Pittsburgh Penguins meet the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers match up against the Ottawa Senators in the other semifinal for a chance to advance to the conference finals. The first round saw the Predators upset the top-seeded Chicago Blackhawks in a clean sweep of 4-0, while the Blues dispatched the Minnesota Wild in 5 games. The Oilers advanced after a 6-game series with the San Jose Sharks, and the Ducks swept the Calgary Flames to make it this far. The rematch between the Capitals and Penguins was set up by the Penguins' 4-1 series win against the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Capitals' 6-game series win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. The final semifinal was set up by the Rangers and Senators' 4-2 series wins over the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins, respectively. On a local note, the hometown Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins return home for Game 3 of their first-round Calder Cup series against the Providence Bruins. The series sits at a 1-1 tie currently. Let's go Pens. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching all semester long. Hope everybody has a great summer. And for one last time this semester, back to the desk.
Thanks, Nicolo. It's a stunning glimpse of Earth as seen through the rings of Saturn. Take a look at this just-released photo from NASA. There, through the icy rings of Saturn, you can see Earth as a point of light. The view is from 870 million miles away. The photo was taken by NASA's Cassini spacecraft back on April 12th. For the record, it's a view of Earth's southern Atlantic Ocean facing the camera in a close-up. You can just make out the moon alongside the Earth. The Cassini mission is a collaborative effort between NASA, the European Space Agency, and Italy's space agency. It launched in 1997, taking 7 years to get to Saturn, where it's been orbiting ever since. Cassini's flight ends later this year.
Wow, that seems really cool. I'd love to go out there and see it myself.
Yeah, you know, according to Sam, we're not going to have a clear night until next Tuesday, so who knows what you'll be able to see by then.
Hopefully I can get some tickets or a rocket to go out there soon,
Right.
but
Maybe
it'd be
we'll
fun.
get to Mars or Saturn by the end of, you know, the next few years.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Maybe we can go together after
Right.
this last show that we're having.
Love to become an astronaut someday.
Yeah.
It's a dream of mine. All right, on behalf of all the TVM News cast and crew, thanks for tuning in to our last broadcast of the semester. Follow TV-Marywood on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram for more Marywood-University news.
Have a good week and good luck in the rest of your semester. We'll see you next year here on TVM News.